That's above my pay grade. I'm not smart enough for that stuff. Welcome back to another deep dive with Derek. I'm your host, Derek, and my friends call me D-Rock, so you can call me D-Rock. Here with another reaction to Rain. Now, if you're new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. I hope you like what you see. If you do, consider subscribing, liking and sharing, and showing support. And on this channel, just to preface you, I kind of look at videos and music, poetry, other forms of art through the lens of meaningful living. That's the good side and the dark side of life. So we're looking at things like resilience, growth, mindfulness, personal values, sources of meaning, purpose, narratives, mindsets, anything that we can use to get through this life and say, we did it again, or I do it again. I have no regrets. And if you've seen me before, welcome back. Hope you like what we're doing here. So checking out Seven Sins. This is a highly requested song. Many people have requested this even before there's a video out for it. So people have told me not much other than it fits with what we do on this channel, or it's kind of philosophical. So those are the two only intros or preconceived notions that I have of this. And if you are new here, we take a look at Ren by going through once and just listening to the song and seeing how it hits me. And then if you want to stick around, we go through a second time, and that's where we get some of the education, analysis, questions, lessons, anything that we can use and see what we can learn from the song. So let's get into Seven Sins by Ren. I can't understand anything of that. Is that on purpose? If so, I'm going to have a hard time with this song. I don't know why this is skipping.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate. Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest. I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, seven my sin. Have you ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? A rose emerges from the pavement cracks. I'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son. Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, onomatopoeia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener. Bright lights, he's your dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, E-top fuck. 13 years and I've been feeling so stuck. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed. A bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept. A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees and I kneel. I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg. I begged the sky for mercy, mercy never came. Life did me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing. Back then, the pain spray, ricochet like a Mac 10. Hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wing seraphim out of God's grace. Cried tears from heaven like clapping. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix. Thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics. Bloodstained crime scene forensic. Lights on, lights out. Fade into the background. So down, running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should have figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out. Smackdown. Let it be. Quote John Lennon. Click clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma, or dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build them, praise them, bury them, dead. I was born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down and half a gram. Hard though troubles and thoughts stay darker than Uruk-hai master plan. Sharper than glass shards, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. Pain makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down parmesan. Followed by 7 whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust makes the grass look greener, crucifies trust. Sin 3, gluttony, humans consume and consume, planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth, rinse and repeat, reruns, repeat, time lost. Sin 5, envy, that's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath. Sin 7, greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need and take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat, we inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, so cause of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
All right. Well, that was a long one, longer one. And it was really upbeat and catchy. I didn't catch all the lyrics, so I'm going to have to pull those up. And there's actually, I can only find one site. It's not on the YouTube comments like it sometimes is, or not comments, but description. Should check the comments. I don't see it there. So this is kind of one of these sites. There's a bunch of ads up at me, and it slows everything down. So hopefully that doesn't impact us, but let's check it out again. It sounds like, and I might be wrong, especially after looking at the lyrics, but it sounds like a equal parts human condition. Like here's life. Life can sometimes suck, and here's the things that we have to suffer through. And equal parts, maybe I don't know if it's equally equal. You know what I mean. His journey, things that have happened to him. So let's go through and check out what we can learn from this song and see what these lyrics are all about, especially now that I have them in front of me. Let's check it out. Okay, so there are lyrics for this, but I don't know any of this. So it's not English or it's nonsense. I'm going to take this into Google Translate and see what. Oh, good, it has detect language, so I don't even have to guess. Welsh, it says. Illness is my teacher. My smile broke. My bones feel old. Here lies Ren's body. Okay, I don't know why he's hiding this behind a different language. Illness is my teacher. That is a profound mindset. If you can get to that and expand it, not even just illness, but all hardship. If you can learn from everything that happens, especially the bad stuff. We learn more from defeat than we do from victory, is an old saying. So illness is my teacher. My smile broke. My bones feel old. Here lies Ren's body. And so it was kind of in that chanty sound, like an old church or a service of some kind.
I lay broken on the kitchen floor. I clawed at the laminate, Pain wandered my body, an uninvited guest. Bones of a home where the devil could rest.
Okay, let's talk about that. Pain wandered around through my body, an uninvited guest. Now, let's go back to the song, arguably that launched him into stardom, that is High Ren. And what does he do at the end? He puts the guitar down and he tells us, I was battling this good and this bad. And the more I tried to push it away, the stronger it got. Right? So I had to learn to dance with it. Because if I'm pushing it away, if I'm not accepting of this, then it's never going to go away. Then it doesn't allow it to rise and pass like everything else in the world does. So pain, wandering my body like an uninvited guest, is the same non-acceptance that he was talking about, or a similar concept anyways. It's not until we can accept the pain that we can do something about it. If we keep trying to push it away, we can't do anything about it. And pain is a teacher, just like, I forget, what did he say that? Illness is my teacher. So we can use pain as a teacher. But if we keep pushing this teacher away, we're not going to learn anything from it.
I cursed the gods, cursed my messiah, cursed my maker. I cursed all of creation. There I lay, feeble and thin. Sick boy, seven, I say. Have you?
I like that. And because I feel down in the dumps, rock bottom, deep depression, why could this happen to me? In the realm of meaningful living has three components. We've got purpose. That's something meaningful to do with your time, some kind of a calling. There's a sense of significance, which is feeling that life is worthwhile. And then there's a sense of coherence, which is life makes sense. So it's hard to live a meaningful life when everything's chaotic and nothing makes sense. Also, that can lead then to not feeling that life is worthwhile. And this is often the root of what the existentialists talk about, which is life is suffering. We didn't choose to be born. We didn't give our consent to be born. Now that we're here, we got a life full of pain, and it sucks. So we could think of these last couple of lines like an existential crisis. Like, I give up. This sucks. Now I'm going to curse the gods. I'm going to curse all the gods, Messiah, Maker, curse creation even. I wish it would all go away, and I just lay here.
You ever felt pain? Stomach wrenching, unrelenting. Tell me, have you ever felt pain? Condescending, muscles clenching. Tell me, have you ever felt pain?
So he's I don't know if he's talking to us, the listener, or if he's talking to another character in the song yet, but he's looking for one of our basic needs is connection and belonging, and self-expression. So 3 of the basic needs, actually 4, because safety and security is in there too. It's hard to feel like you're fulfilled if you are alone and nobody can relate to you. This is the word empathy here, is finding somebody who is empathetic. That is somebody who can understand what you're going through. Doesn't have to agree with you, but has to understand what you're going through. Which is why professional listeners like therapists and so on, and coaches and things, can be so powerful, because they're paid, or they're trained to help you. They're paid too, because it is their profession, but they're trained to really understand what you're going through. And when we don't feel heard, when we don't feel understood, when we don't feel like we belong anywhere, we don't feel any kind of connection, we can scream out for help. Have you ever felt this? Don't sit there and tell me don't tell me just to get over it. Don't tell me to suck it up. Have you ever been like this before? That's what I'm catching up on here. He's going through, have you even been in this situation?
Rose emerges from the pavement cracks. They'll write my eulogy with broken glass. Eternal parallax.
Pain.
That's interesting. A rose emerges from pavement cracks. That's a resilience statement. So even though we put concrete down, we paved over nature, the rose still shows up. That's resilience. Keep trying. So, but then he goes in to say, they'll write my eulogy with broken glass. That one I'm not sure where that's coming from or going yet, because there was no reference to anything breaking. I could make some assumptions, because shattering my worldview, that's that sense of coherence. Things make sense. And when you shatter that sense of coherence, I've shattered my worldview. People aren't supposed to feel this sick. People aren't supposed to get misdiagnosed. People aren't supposed to have this happen to them. So it could be something along those lines.
Pain the author, I accept this. Pain the teacher, bruised apprentice. Pain resisting, pain will come. Pain the mother, I'm the son. Pain that splits you, and too many hits you. The dark and the light will converge to one. Pain that twists you, the heavens dismiss you. The Father, the Ghost, and the Holy Son.
Okay, so the first half of this verse, he's talking about pain, author, teacher. So Pain the author, interesting. So Pain's writing the story, and he accepts it. So there is an openness to accept this. Pain the teacher, which we talked about a little bit earlier. Pain the system, pain will come. So the human condition is there always will be pain. Pain the mother, and I'm the son, which is interesting. So I'm a product of pain. Which is true. That's resilience. That's the rose coming through the cracks. You are a product of everything that you've been through. And if you have any strength because of the pain that you felt, physical, emotional, psychological, all the pain, the hardship that you've been through made you who you are, and any strength that you've had comes from that. Even if you work out, that's deliberately tearing your muscles. And if you've ever overworked out, you've really experienced that pain because it hurts. And then your muscles grow back stronger. Our psyche, our mind is the same way. So the Father, Ghost, and Holy Son. So we got some Christian tones here so far. And seven sins. Now tell me this, because I'm not a Christian. I grew up in the Christianity circles. Lutheran. The subset would be a Lutheran. But that only time we ever went to church was if somebody got married and it happened to be at the Lutheran church. I mean, we weren't even Easter Christmas people. No longer a religious person. But the seven sins, is that from the Bible? I've never heard where in the Bible we get the seven sins from. It seems like it comes from Christianity, yet any reading I've done of the Bible or anything that's written about the Bible, I never hear where these seven sins come. If I can list the seven sins for you, it's because that movie came out in the 90s called Seven, which was about a serial killer who killed people based on the sin that they were guilty of. Super scary. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's worth seeing. Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and totally blanking on the serial killer guy who plays the serial killer. It's on the tip of my tongue. You know who it is. You can look it up. That's the only reason I know seven sins. I didn't learn anything about that in Sunday school. We learned what sin was, kind of breaking the rules, being a heretic. If you have, he had a song called Heretic too. But I don't know where the seven sins come from. That's interesting. But anyway, so I got some Christian themes here with the Trinity here: Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or Father, Ghost, and Holy Son. Interesting. I just caught that now. So it's not Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. It's Father, Ghost, and Holy Son. I wonder what the intention is behind that. That's above my pay grade. I'm not smart enough for that stuff.
Body bagging me. Zip it up quick, get their things on B. I search for peace in the belly of a beast. Sick boy, on a matapia. Running up a fever, following a leader. Wanna be me, huh? Grass isn't greener.
So onomatopoeia is that? I think that's the. I don't know where that's going. So that term onomatopoeia, as I understand it, is a word that when you pronounce it sounds like what it is. Like splat, for example. That word splat, a splat sounds like splat. But I'm trying to see in these lyrics what would be the onomatopoeia here. Peace. Body bagging me. So I don't know where that came in here, but I searched for peace in the belly of the beast, which is trying to make the best of the bad situation. benefit finding, searching for silver linings. These are all part of the meaning making process that can help you become more resilient and find post traumatic growth or anti fragility. Let's get some more onomatopoeia.
Bright lights, he's your dynamite dealer. Dine at the table of the coroner, top 4. 13 years and I've been feeling so stark. Lucky number 13, just my luck. Empires tumble, rubble and dust. The universe shrinks and the planets combust. In God we trust. God tied a noose to his neck and he walked to the edge and he jumped. Angels wept, I bear witness, watching the whole thing unfold from my bed. A bed where I never deep rest, a bed where I'm always depressed. A bed with the human oppressed, a bed for a tomb where I slept. A bed in the room that's a womb for this mess. Sick boy bitten by a tick boy, tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. Stones and sticks boy, pain is a gift boy. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees and I kneel.
A lot going on there. I'm unsure where the God committing suicide piece comes from. And this, you've heard me say this a lot, especially with Ren. It's the song where I will listen to it, and a year from now, I'll have it on, and I'll be cutting up some onions, and I'll say, and the lyric will hit me differently, and it'll change the whole song for me. I'll say, oh, he's talking about, so I don't have a year to let that kick in, but that will happen to me. So God's committing suicide. He says, there's a lot to unpack here, right? I mean, 13 years have been feeling stuck. Is that the time since he's gotten really ill? Probably sounds about right. And 13, I saw in an interview, he really doesn't like this number 13. He can't have a track or an album, for example, with 13 songs on it. So the universe shrinks and planets combust. I'm not sure what the tie-in is there, but then we've got the suicide god here. God tied a noose to his neck and walked to the edge and jumped. The angels cried about it, and he watched this whole thing happen from his bed. A bed where he never got to sleep. He was always depressed. He was oppressed because he couldn't move. This is a tomb. And a womb for this mess. I mean, there's this verse. This verse is it's gonna take a lot of twists and turns for me because this is a gold mine for interpretations here, at least the way I'm seeing this. So God kills himself. He watches it from this place that he hates or that feels like it's a trap. But it's a womb. So then he brings up a womb at the end. A womb is usually where you are before you're born. So maybe that's a resiliency play too. So he's in this, he's oppressed, he never gets any sleep, he's always depressed, it feels like a tomb, but then it's a womb for him to be reborn, to come out of this from the other side. Maybe. So maybe there's a resilience play in here. He's going to get better from this. Tell me how it feels to be buried while you breathe. So buried alive, that's similar feelings of being trapped. Stones and sticks, pain is a gift. Hard to make a stand when you crawl on your knees. Now, stones and sticks and stones, the old saying, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can't hurt you. Pain is a gift. So here's that reintroduction of using pain as a teacher. Pain is a gift. You should welcome it. And yet, knowing that it's still hard to make a stand when you have to crawl on your knees. Tell me what your take is on that verse. I mean, there's a lot of interpretations in there, as I see it.
I kneel at the altar of my own disease and I beg this guy for mercy. Mercy never came. I dipped me dirty, 33 and hurting, cursing. Jesus died at 33 and still my sins are lurking. Gears are turning, future stays uncertain. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. Fear of the unknown preserves a religion. Denounced the gods when my body went missing.
Okay. So now we've got, I kneel at the altar of my own disease. So he's begging for mercy. It never came. In fact, it did him dirty, he says. 33 years. So I imagine this is probably close. Is he 33 years old? So he got sick at 20, and now he's 33. If my math is right, that's what it would be. So 33, and he's hurting, and he's mad, he's cursing, not getting any mercy. And there's the tie into Jesus. Jesus died at 33, supposedly for our sins, right? But my sins are still there, lurking. Future stays uncertain. I have no idea what the future is going to hold. Surgeon incision, murder ambition. So is this assuming ill will to the surgeon? So let's pause there, because future stays uncertain. The future is always uncertain. And this concept of time is a weird concept in that what is time? It's an interesting question. Try to answer that. What is time? It's an hour. No, an hour is a measurement of time, but what is time? And it's super bizarre, because if you go back like thousands of years, people didn't think about time the way we do today. I've got to be productive, and I got to make use of my time, and time is money, and all this. They just it just took whatever it took. However long it took to do things, that's how long it took. Nobody thought about time the way we do, and we have to carve out our time and schedule our time. But even if I say, like, I got 2 hours to clean up the house or something, and I think I'm giving myself 2 hours to do that, but at best, that's just I'm reasonably sure I have these 2 hours. But I have no guarantees that I get those 2 hours. None. None. There is no guarantees. The only thing that's guaranteed is right now, in this moment, I'm alive, breathing, and spewing some nonsense to a camera in my office. Right? So nothing is guaranteed. So the future will always be uncertain. And part of my role in my professional life is to help people become more comfortable with that uncertainty. Now he says, the fear of the unknown preserves a religion. There's a school of thought, I subscribe to it, that religions exist to offer answers. Often, what the hell happens when we die? Because the fear of death is the number of, Ernest Becker in The Denial of Death was the first to really talk about this, although some of the Stoics and Epicureans have talked about this for a long time too. But humans can look into the future, even though it's uncertain. We look into the future and we see people die, and then it's a hop and a skip before we realize, well, if that person died and my dog died and this person died, well, that must mean I'm going to die. And that scares the shit out of us. So we look for reasons to avoid this. And Ernest Becker, in that book, Denial of Death, calls these immortality stories. Religion offers immortality stories. You will just go to heaven. You don't actually die. You just go to heaven. And it's very comforting. Other religions say, you're not going to die. You're going to be born again. And you're going to continually be born again. You're not going to actually die. And it's so scary that even more modern versions of this is, let's just freeze you. Let's freeze you until a time when we can bring you back to life and you can live forever. Or we'll just upload your consciousness to a computer and then you can live forever. Like, this fear of death is serious business. But it's not, it's other things besides death. But this fear of the unknown, fear of the future, fear of death preserves religions, because religions give you those answers. But then he says he denounced the gods when his body went missing. So I wonder what he means by body went missing. It could be when the old body, the body that I knew, the body that wasn't torn and hurt and painful, went missing. Now he denounced these gods. So is this his way? So fear of the unknown preserves a religion, denouncing the gods when my body, or denounced the gods when my body went missing. Again, ripe for interpretation, and I need to chew on that for a little bit.
Back then, the pain spray ricochet like a Mac 10. and hot lead hit the bed that was trapped in. Red wings, seraphim out of God's grace, cried tears from heaven like Clapton. Stick pins in the voodoo Hendrix, thick skin, stay humble Kendrick. Stay skeptic, check the biometrics, bloodstained crime scene forensic.
So Pain is attacking him, he's saying here. But then there's a lot of tie-ins or references. So back then, Pain sprayed. And then he's got cried tears from heaven like Clapton, because Eric Clapton wrote the song Tears from Heaven after his son died, fell out of a window, I believe. And he wrote Tears from Heaven. So cried tears from heaven like Clapton, stick pins in a voodoo Hendrix. And Jimi Hendrix, I believe, was it Hendrix and Frusciante of Red Hot Chili Peppers? I might be missing somebody. Cobain, maybe? Was how he initially learned how to play guitar. He slowed down by watching videos and seeing what they were doing. So Voodoo Child is a Hendrix tune. I don't know Kendrick. Thick Skin, Stay Humble, Kendrick. That one, I have no idea who that is. Stay Skeptic and Crime Scene Forensics. So when something happens, we're always trying to look and see what happened. How did this happen? And so if we're taking a look at our pain, and there's a school of thought that encourages this, if you ever have anything that goes wrong, you get in a fight with your partner, say, do some forensics on it. What happened? You know, if there's some kind of a plane crash, investigators go back all the way to what were the pilots doing the night before. They, not necessarily to blame anybody, but just to learn what this wasn't supposed to happen and something went wrong. In order to understand that, we need to figure out what went wrong. Where did it start to derail? And so I wonder if there's this tie into back then, Pain was spraying me like a gun, and now I'm in it. I'm checking it out like a crime scene, looking at the forensics.
Lights on, lights out, fade into the background. So down, running from the silhouette of self-doubt. By now, really should have figured this shit out. Lights on, lights out, smackdown. Let it be, quote John Lennon. Click-clack, John got shot for attention. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? Bitterness formed in a storm of aggression. Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven. Martin Luther, Mahatma, or dead. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. Build them, praise them, bury them, dead. I was...
Oh, wow. Let It Be. So John Lennon, Beatles. I don't know if it's Lennon or Beatles. Lennon was in the Beatles nonetheless, but Let It Be is a quote from John Lennon. Click clock. John got shot for attention because Lennon was assassinated. What does that tell you about the good of intentions? So I think there's a tie into the road to hell, say, is paved with good intentions. But who's good? What's good? You know, who's good intentions? I mean, it was probably well intended by Lennon's assassinator. You know, so what does that say? Prophets get dropped, imagining heaven, and then it goes through Martin Luther and Gandhi, deadened. 6-6 followed by 6-7. 6-6-6-7? That I don't know. 6-6 followed by 6 and 7. I don't know. Let me know if you know what that means.
Born to be half a man with half a chance. My heart isn't half righteous, half is down, and half a gram. Hard though troubles and thoughts stay darker than Urukai master plan. Sharper than glass shard, splinter and cinnamon. Irony could kill a man. He makes money when the music lands. Expand, pay me my cheese, rain down parmesan.
Pay me my cheese, reference, I think, to, you know, the cheddar, you know, reference to money, and then rains down Parmesan, making it rain. So, born to be half a man with half a chance, my heart's in half righteous, half is damned. You know, this also reminds me of Pyron, because there was those two parts of him, right? And that can feel like that sometimes when we have inner struggles, inner competing motivations, we'll call it. Part of me wants to do this. Part of me wants to do that. Part of me is righteous. Part of me is damned. Part of me is hope. Part of me is temptation, right? we will always have competing motivations. But when these are subconscious and below conscious awareness, we act out with whichever one's winning at the time. And when the primitive mind is taken over, maybe we haven't exercised, we're not well rested or something, then we're more likely to be on the half damned part. When we are taking care of our psychological needs, we're more likely to be on the righteous side of that.
Followed by seven whole sins for a self-made Armageddon. Sin 1, pride. Pride makes a man kill a man for his ego to survive. Sin 2, lust. Lust makes the grass look greener, crucifies trust.
All right, let's talk about grass is greener. Grass is always greener. We get used to everything around us. So pride is the ego, focusing too much on myself, the sense of self. Deep in meditation circles, you really try to get to the core and learn that the sense of self is an illusion. There is no thinker and thoughts. There are just thoughts. There is no experiencer and experience. There's just experience. That's way advanced meditation stuff. But so pride is over exerting a sense of self, but further, my self is better than other people's selves. And then lust is grasping at things, often sexual. Always makes the grass looks greener. But again, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. We get used to what we have, and then everything else looks good, and then we lust for other things. We're always looking very related to greed.
Sin 3, gluttony. Humans consume and consume. Planet Earth gets a frontal lobotomy. 4, sloth. Rinse and repeat. Reruns, repeat. Time lost.
So gluttony is not knowing when to stop consuming, often food, but wine, it could be other things. Sloth is laziness. Calls it rinse and repeat. Reruns, repeat. I'm lazy, so I'm just going to rerun the same stuff over and over again.
Sin 5, envy. That's when one man's win is another man's frenzy. Sin 6, wrath, rage, vengeance, killers, psychopath.
Envy is desiring, so it's similar to lust and greed, I suppose. Envy is feeling jealous. It's jealousy. It's feeling like I want what somebody else has. That's part of the human condition too, because the fact of the matter is we are socially comparing all the time. It gets worse now with social media because now we see everybody that we follow, we see everything about them. That's not true. We see anything about all the people we follow. So there's going to be some confirmation bias there because I'm only going to follow people that I like and that agree with me. But what I'm seeing is only a part of their life. I'm not seeing all of it, but I compare my whole life to their curated version of life. And then wrath, rage, that's getting overly upset about things. And he ends here with greed.
Sin 7, greed. Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. If we take what we need, then take more than we need, then our oceans will bleed. Still we feed and we sleep and repeat. Then we exile the shepherds and follow the sheep. We inherit the meat. We inherit this world that we bruise and we beat. We inherit this vanity, so because of creeds. Inherit the liars, the murderous thieves. One sin for every one day of the week.
I like how I closed that one day. 7 sins, 7 days in the week. So yeah, it's getting a little long here. So a lot of ripe fruit in that song. I don't know if I got all of it right. I don't know if I got any of it right. How does the song hit you? Let me know in the comments. If this is something you liked, like it, share it. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Let me know that this is the kind of thing that interests you and that you like to see. Otherwise, I'm gonna sign out now. I look forward to checking out more Red. Hey, D-Rock again. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. If this kind of thing is interesting to you, and especially if you like the bad drawings at the beginning, you might be interested in my weekly newsletter. It explores money's role in a meaningful life. So you can check that out at meaning.blog if you want. It takes this and it goes a lot deeper. So if you like that, check it out. Let me know what else I should be doing, what else I could be doing, and I'll see you here next time.